Don't mind your business. Mind my podcast, Mindelixir. Hello, my name is Ayoka, and welcome to or back to my podcast. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about gratitude, some ways to be more grateful slash thankful, whichever you want to call that, and all of that sort of stuff. Of course, I know it's kind of a basic topic, but I thought, why not? You know? And of course, it's Thanksgiving, so kind of a Thanksgiving themed episode a bit. Even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I still think it's a great topic to discuss as well. And make sure to follow my socials and leave a review on Apple Podcast if you like this episode and enjoy the podcast in general. Also, all of my stuff is linked in the description of the episode as usual. You know that. And yeah, let's get on with it. I'm recording this episode on a Monday because I'm on a 1 week break. And I'm kind of re-recording it because before, when I was recording it like a few minutes earlier, I was 8 minutes in and then I realized I hadn't even plugged in my microphone. So it was just recording from the computer audio. And the computer audio is kind of very echoey. And I did not like that. So I was like, delete. So here I am recording again. But thankfully, I had not gotten too far into the episode. I hadn't like just completely recorded the whole entire episode, however long it's going to be. I hope this episode isn't super short because some of my episodes, I was looking at them and they're only around 10 to 15 minutes, and that's so short. I wish I could make them longer, like 20 minutes at least. But then sometimes I don't know what to talk about or I feel like I'm going too fast. I don't think I'm going too fast, am I? I don't know. And yeah, last week on Friday, my school had this really fun event sort of thing. We got to skip class and instead we went to different speakers talking about what they do and their professions. And I went to a fashion student, a cardiology nurse, and then also an archaeologist and listened to what they had to say about their field of study and all of that. And there was also this mini college fair as well, and college is just so confusing, to be honest. There's just so many things going on with it, and I'm not even sure if I can catch up, you know? But I still have two more, I think, well, 2 more school years to plan for that, including, well, not including the rest of this year as well. And I really enjoyed the fashion student and the part where she was talking about the different courses they had at the university and how some of the students are studying sustainability in fashion, more sustainable clothing making techniques and developing sustainable fabrics and all of that. Thanksgiving is honestly one of my favorite holidays, and I mean like the bonding, spending time with family, cooking together, and of course, like the main thing, the food. I'm literally so hyped for it right now. Like it's coming in a few days. And I hope that next year I can maybe help make some vegan Thanksgiving dishes if I can find some recipes for it online. Because if you don't already know, I'm keyword attempting to limit my dairy and also meat intake. Although there's this ham place that's really good and they always have super long lines around Thanksgiving. So what I'm saying is I don't think any meat replacement could live up to that ham. It is so delicious. I love it. It's like a Thanksgiving tradition. Although one thing that annoys me about Thanksgiving is that some people try and make it seem as though the Native Americans and the Pilgrims were all jolly and thankful and they ate their feast and then they lived happily ever after, when in reality we know that's really not the case. Definitely not what happened after all of that. So yeah, I'm just so glad that I'm on break finally because school has just been so stressful lately and I feel like I need to catch up. And physics class, I know I always complain about physics. It's physics this, physics that. But physics class, I don't understand a single thing. Like you think it would be easy. You think it'd just be, oh, equations, plug in that, but it's really not. I don't know. And although it is break, I know I should probably also go check online on my courses and my classes that I'm taking so that I can check if there's any schoolwork that I need to get finished or want to try to get finished ahead of time, or also any extra credit. Although not that many of my teachers even offer extra credit. I wish they did. It's like the one teacher that I'm doing good in her class, really good in her class. She's the one that offers extra credit, but then the other teachers where I actually need the extra credit, they don't offer any. I'm like, what? Although I am thankful for the extra credit, at least we have it at all. And I also want to email my counselor about planning my classes for junior and senior year because she came into our class last week and she talked about like the course plan and the different classes and how we have to schedule and sit down with her. And it's just so overwhelming to think whenever I looked up at the website for the different classes, it's so overwhelming because we have dual credit at a college, and then we also have AP credit, and then there's like two types of dual credit. There's dual credit at our own high school, and then there's also dual credit at a different college. And then in senior year, there's internships at this other school place that's connected to our school, kind of, that's in the same district as our school. You can take internships there. And the other thing that I was thinking about is the fact that we have to plan our classes specifically because if I want to take a certain class or internship in senior year, then I need to make sure to take the prerequisites for it in junior year. So I'm planning to meet with her. I'm planning to ask to meet with her next week sometime. And going back to the dual and AP credit thing, the thing that confuses me about that is the fact that with AP classes, you take the class at your own regular high school. And then at the end of the year, you'll take the AP test. And if you don't do well on the AP test, then that's kind of a flop. And then you've wasted your whole entire year, basically. But then with dual credit, you're getting the college credit as you're doing the class at the college. But, and there's a big but, some classes, that's a weird thing to say. Some universities don't even take dual credit from certain colleges. And you're just gonna have to take the class over again whenever you go back to college. So that's kind of yikes. I don't know why. I just wish they could make things simpler for all this college and high school enrollment and classes and scheduling stuff. Honestly. As for any plans I have this week for Thanksgiving, my family, we always do. We usually just stay here at our house here in Texas, and it's just us. I feel like it would be uncomfortable for me to go to other people's houses or for more people to come here just because it's not what I'm used to, and we've always just celebrated with just the four of us, me and my family. And yeah, it's just what feels familiar. Although I know that some people on Thanksgiving, it's like a whole family reunion thing. They have their cousins, grandparents, other people, everyone coming over, and that seems cool too for them. And I know some people, they have a Friendsgiving the day before Thanksgiving, a little mini Thanksgiving dinner. I've never done that before. I think that's probably more of an adult thing. So yeah. So, with Thanksgiving, as you know, it's in a few days, but by the time you're listening to this episode, by the time I post it on Wednesday, hopefully, it'll be one day till Thanksgiving. And whether you celebrate it or not, I still think it's important to be grateful and just to practice gratitude overall, not just on Thanksgiving Day. And something that I've noticed with Thanksgiving is that when my family and I are at the table, ready and excited to eat, getting ready, doing all that, and we're going around the table saying what we're grateful for, the things that I have to say are pretty surface level and repetitive every year. You probably know what I mean. The I'm grateful for the food here today, and I'm grateful for being here with my family here today, which those are of course very valid things for me to be grateful for. But I was also thinking that why don't we try to incorporate gratitude and overall appreciation into our life more often? not just on one day of the year, but like all the time. It reminds me of what people say about Valentine's Day and how we shouldn't only show love to our loved ones, then it should be all year around. Like, don't just buy your boyfriend or girlfriend flowers on Valentine's Day. Give them flowers on just any random day to show you appreciate them or anything else or any other acts of appreciation. And I think that same thing should apply to Thanksgiving. I believe that gratitude is a very important quality as well. And when I say that, I don't mean that we can't have like we can't want more than we already do. No. I just mean that we should be grateful for what we do have in the present and we should reflect and think about that. And I think it's much better to take time to show how you're thankful for something, to show appreciation even if it's just like occasionally. It's better to do it sometimes than never at all or only on one day of the year. You know what I mean? And that wanting more doesn't necessarily automatically make you ungrateful. It's more of being spiteful and not at all appreciating what you have. And being grateful helps us learn to appreciate the things, people, items, even just ideas and whatever else that we may just usually take for granted. We may not even be aware of some of these things, I think, and even if it just seems like a little or insignificant thing, it can still be something to be grateful for. And I think that like showing gratitude, I don't know if this is true or not, but I was just thinking about it whenever I wrote this episode. I think that showing gratitude can help to calm or give us something to focus on. It is just a beneficial thing in general. Help us be a bit more positive. For example, appreciate the fact that you don't have a sore throat right now. If you actually do have one right now at this moment, then I guess that sucks for you. But whenever I have a sore throat, I feel miserable eating whenever I'm eating or talking, and I'm just so glad that I don't have to deal with that right now. In fact, just last week I had one and I was a bit concerned that it wouldn't go away by Thanksgiving, but now I'm better. So, love that. Well, okay, actually, well, I'm better sore throat wise, at least. If we're talking about the rest of my body, there's always some problem or issue that wants to pop up on my body. So wonderful. That last part was sarcastic, not actually wonderful. But yeah, I also wanted to discuss some ways to be more grateful and just incorporating gratitude into your life, like I said before. My first thing I would say is to just remember to say thank you. Sometimes we don't say thank you or appreciate others and what they're doing for us. So I try to say thank you more often. And when I say thank you, I mean, when I say thank you, it can be literal. I mean, as in telling people thank you, or it can be showing your appreciation for others and how you're thankful for them, towards them. You know what I mean? I think that makes sense. For example, if someone like some things we just may take for granted or we may not notice it, like if someone at school lets you borrow a pencil or helps you out on your homework, say thank you for them, show them some appreciation because they weren't required or obligated to do that for you. No, but they did it because out of the kindness of their heart or something like that. I don't know. And especially whenever someone helps me or does something positive for me, such as complimenting me or something, I think that's something that I'm very thankful for. And speaking of compliments, I think that getting compliments on your personality or even just those oddly specific compliments, I think y'all should know what I'm talking about when I say oddly specific compliments. That is literally just top tier and I love that. Also, even just thanking yourself for putting in hard work or achieving a goal, it doesn't always have to be about thanking others. It can be about thanking yourself, appreciating yourself. Show yourself some love too. Maybe you finished your school project early, or maybe you planted some vegetables and flowers and now you see them growing in. Appreciate that as well. Be thankful for that. Be thankful for yourself and the things that you've done or been through and all of that. Another way to quote unquote say thank you is like you can just send spontaneous letters to your grandparents telling them you appreciate them, or even not just grandparents, any family members. I know some people don't really send letters anymore. They believe that's outdated, too old. But if you want, you could just send a text message. I know that my grandmother, she'll sometimes just send me cute little cards and have a note written inside, and I love that. And I should probably start sending her cards and notes as well, because I usually just call her. I don't really send cards, but I appreciate her for that. And yeah, I think that's a really great way to show people that you appreciate them, whether it's through letters, notes, just maybe a text saying I love you, blah 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 blah, all of that. Another way I think we can practice gratitude more often is by making a journal and just writing one thing or another that you're thankful or grateful for each day, or as often as you can. I actually did this idea last year as well, but then I forgot about it. But now I found my journal again a few days ago. So yeah. My journal is actually so pretty. It's this light blue color and it has birds on it. And then on the front, it says embrace the day. In mine, I'm just going to describe what my gratitude journal has or looks like, the gratitude part, the page about gratitude. In mine, I just had speech bubbles and frames and other sorts of fun shapes like circles, stars, and all of that I drew so I could write inside what I was grateful for. And personally, I think that what you write down can be as seemingly trivial or small or insignificant, like I said before, as you want. I had literally wrote down stuff like clocks, ovens, nail polish, bathrobes. I literally have that. I'm literally looking at it right now, and that's what I have written down. And then also hazelnuts, which that last one is weird because I don't even like hazelnuts. I don't like stuff like peanuts, cashews, macadamia. None of that. I don't even like that. But I think the reason I wrote that down was because I like Ferrero Rocher, and those use hazelnuts. Ferrero Rocher is such a seasonal sort of treat. Even though I know it isn't, I feel like it gets more popular around Christmas. And then sometimes I'll get Christmas presents of one. So, as you can see, the stuff I have isn't exactly some eye opening, super deep, abstract concepts or anything like that. However, if it's important to you, then go for it. Write it down. Just write down whatever. And I, of course, like to continue this and add more things that aren't just material items and go a bit more in depth. And mind you, this journal as well, it was from my bullet journal era. Also on the side, I wrote some ideas for what I could write down to be grateful for, which I think I probably got from some bullet journals set up on YouTube because was watching those a lot last year. But what I wrote down, and then I also added some examples too. What I had wrote down was acts of kindness, such as maybe someone ahead of line pays for your Starbucks drink. You can be thankful for that. Or just random acts of kindness that people do out of the kindness of their heart. You can appreciate that. Maybe unexpected moments slash happy surprises in your life that you can find joy in. That seems like a good idea. And like, I don't know, maybe something like your cousins came over to surprise you for the holidays and you haven't seen them in a few years and they're like your favorite cousins or something. I don't know. Whatever. Or you can write down experiences and opportunities that you were thankful to have and to do. Maybe you went on a trip to a really wonderful national park or something like that. So essentially, it doesn't all have to be directly automatically like gratitude focused. It can also just be about positive moments in your life and stuff like that. And I say journal, but you don't even have to go out and buy a physical journal. I think I got mine from Barnes and Noble at least, but you don't even have to go out and buy a journal if you don't want to. I'm sure there's tons of apps that you can download in the App Store. And if you don't even want to do that, you can just do daily audio recordings or write in the notes app of your phone because I'm pretty sure most phones have that automatically downloaded. And yeah, maybe you're grateful for laughter or the relationships in your life. I know that I definitely am. And when I say relationships, I don't just mean romantic relationships because I've literally had none of those. I also mean family, friendships, and whatever other kinds of relationships there are. Platonic, well, familial, platonic. I don't know what other kinds. Romantic. I think that's all there are. And now I wanted to talk about a few things that I'm grateful for as well. First of all, I am grateful for books. There are so many books available, and the fact that we can just go to the library and reserve a book and then they have it there. And I think that I remember I mentioned it last time that I was getting more into reading, and I just love reading. I also have a Goodreads account which I'll try to link in the put in the link tree if I remember to do that. I need to tell myself to remember to do that. I need to make a note. But I'll put my Goodreads account in the link tree so that you can friend me if you want. And yeah, as I said before, I was getting more into reading now. And I know this is going to seem like a stupid and overused thing to say, but reading a book really does open up a whole entire new world of whether that's of knowledge or maybe new possibilities and new perspectives. And you can learn new things if it's informational or even just have fun and be entertained just to hear about something. I just love reading. I don't know why I stopped reading. I really need to go back to reading even more. I'm currently reading like 3 or 4 books right now. Yeah. Another thing that I'm thankful for is the road trips that I go on with my family. I think it's so amazing that like I have the opportunity to experience these new things, see new places, try out new things as well, and just having all of these new experiences. And I'm so grateful for all of the memories that I've made with my family. We've been to several national parks. Usually it's all road trips, so I'm kind of used to road trips as well. The national parks we've been to, I'll try to remember some of them. It's stuff like the Grand Canyon. That was the first national park we went to. I remember that. And we also went with our dog. That was very memorable. I love that. And then Niagara Falls, Death Valley, Hot Springs in Arkansas. What else? We went to like several in Utah, went along with Death Valley that I just mentioned. Um, yeah, and I just like the fact that we have the ability to go on road trips. You know, the transportation, snacking in the car, all of that. Because I know some people aren't able to go on road trips and even aren't able to travel with their family and do that. So I really love that, and that's kind of become a unique thing that my family. It's kind of become a thing that my family does every year or every so often. We go on a road trip like I remember over this summer of 2021, we went to Galveston and Corpus Christi, and that was basically my first time going to a beach. So that was wonderful. Another thing that I'm thankful for is Notion. So if you don't know, I think I've already explained this, but Notion is just a productivity app, and Notion has really helped me organize so many aspects of my life, including school, just general resources. I can write journal, I can write to-do lists. I write my meal plans. I also want to add workout plans and stuff like that to Notion, but I haven't got around to doing that. And in fact, my Notion could probably be so much better, but if I spent more time on it, and I think it's great so far though. Still working on improving it though. And even the outline for my podcast episode that I'm doing right now, and all my most of my other outlines are on Notion itself. So Notion is a really great app. Um wow, it sounds like I'm sponsored by Notion or something. What the heck? Actually, that would be a good idea. I would love that. But Notion is a really great app, and for Notion I usually just get my inspiration from YouTube videos. I see where people talk about how they've organized their Notion pages and stuff like that. And yeah, it has helped me organize so many things. And I like how it's all in one place. You can click to different pages and that's stuff like that. Another thing that I'm grateful for is the fact that I recently got into this 1 day hands on medical program at a hospital near me. And I'm super excited for that to see where it goes. I hope I'm not just raising my expectations too high, but I am thankful for the fact that I got into that and to see what I want to do. Because as I mentioned, I've said this so many times, but I'm interested in biomedical sciences, health sciences, and stuff like that. I'm also interested in psychology now because psychology class has really got me interested in that. And I also kind of want to take sociology. Hmm. But yeah, I'm excited to see that and see what we'll do. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not even sure what we're really doing, but I'm so hyped for that to see where it goes. Yeah. I'm also thankful for nail polish. As I said earlier in this episode that I had in my journal from last year, I just think nail polish is a great way to express yourself, all the different colors. And even on my birthday for the first time, I got dip nails done, which is basically just when they attach like an extra nail kind of, and then they use this gel thingy. I am so bad at explaining that, but you can probably look up a YouTube video and it'll show you. I got dip nails done and they're in this really adorable pastel purple color. And on my thumb there's a little heart with a jewel. And then on my middle finger, there's also a little bear. Also, some people say that the thumb isn't a finger, but I don't care because honestly, the fingers, I just consider anything that is like part of your hand a finger. So I'm not gonna go around saying the thumb actually isn't a finger, blah 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 blah. I consider it a finger, so that's enough for me. And yeah, the reason I had got my nails done was because it was my birthday on November 15th. And I love them. I love them so much, but I hope they last as well. Also, for my birthday, I never even talked about my birthday. So, short segue. For my birthday, I got my nails done, as I said before. And then also, I had this cake. It was a black chocolate. It was a chocolate cake, and the outside was black. And then it had white/silver pearls on it and purple lavender flowers decorated with purple lavender flowers on the side around it, and it was so beautiful. I loved it. So yeah, Netflix is also something I'm grateful for. As we all know, Netflix is like the superior streaming service. I use Netflix, Hulu, and then also Amazon Prime. Although Amazon Prime annoys me because why do they always try to make me they'll tell you they have movies, but then they'll try to make you pay for them. And I'm like, what's the point of paying for the movies if you're already paying for the streaming service? But anyway, let's talk about Netflix. I love the fact that it has such a wide selection and wide variety of shows and movies to watch, and it's just so entertaining, which I'm so thankful for that. And although sometimes I do spend a little bit too much time watching Netflix and the TV, and sometimes watching Netflix does take away from doing other things such as reading and all of that, I'm still grateful for it. And just those family movie nights and being able to chill in bed and watch Netflix with some popcorn. I love that. So, yeah. And especially whenever I find a really good TV show and I can just binge watch it, that's really wonderful. I need to go binge watch something right now. Wait, actually, no, I do not. I need to work on my homework. Then I'll watch TV at night. Then I'll watch Netflix/TV at night. But yeah, those are a few things that I'm thankful for. And of course, there's much more, but I just wanted to list a few and some of them. Make sure to stay safe and have a wonderful Thanksgiving break and Thanksgiving if you take part in it. And I hope that you were able to take away something from this episode, something positive, whether that's ways to be more grateful and thankful, or maybe why it's important to show thankfulness and gratitude. Even if you're not going to do a gratitude journal or anything like that, that's fine. As long as it was entertaining or maybe you just learned something from it from this episode and like to listen to it, yeah. Also, reminder, we only have a few weeks left in the year to achieve any of those goals that you have planned from last new year, the 2021 new year. So make sure to keep that in mind and be mindful of the present while still planning ahead for the future, if that makes sense. And make sure to keep growing, learning, and trying out new things, activities, and taking those opportunities. Let me know what your favorite Thanksgiving food or even any food is because Spotify apparently has this new feature where you can ask questions on your podcast and like the listeners can respond. So I'm going to try out that. I don't even know if it works, but or like how I would see the results. But I'll try out that. For me, there's so many options for Thanksgiving and I honestly enjoy all of them. Whether that's the macaroni and cheese, the corn pudding, the ham, the bread, there's a lot, the mashed potatoes, or whether it's desserts such as blueberry and apple pie with vanilla ice cream on top. Yep. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a review on Apple Podcasts and make sure to follow my Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, TikTok, and other socials. Have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.